Hello and welcome, I'm Tim, and this is SV Paquita in, where are we, Mallorca? The island of Mallorca, Spain? In El Toro, which is a little marina here. We've got a full boat. We got 6 of us over here camping on the boat. So, yeah, we have all kinds of things going on, including interesting anchoring scenario. When we were coming in here yesterday, I was concerned that the anchorage looked so tight that I didn't think that if there was any boats in here, we wouldn't have any room. And there were 2 other sailboats anchored. Here's the ocean's over there. This is the big breakwater over here. This is the marina over here, town, and then the beach right here. And so there's one boat there and another boat right where those kids are on the paddleboard over there. And we came over, and I said, why go close to them? So we came over here, and there's some boulders that people are always wigged out about when you read up on this area. They say, oh, don't hit the rocks. Anyway, the water, I don't know how you can see it or not, but it's so clear. I had Jim in the bow, and we basically dropped the anchor right over there. And then I was looking out the stern while I'm backing, and he is, because the windlass is out of commission, he's manually letting the chain go as I back down over these. And then when I got to what looked like a few boulders over here that were relatively close, I have my little handheld sonar. There's a fish in the water. You see those rocks and stuff? And like the ones that stuck up, it was like 11 feet to the bottom and like I don't know, 9 or 10 feet to the boulders. So as long as we didn't have a big heave on here with only 1.5 foot of tide, thought we'd be all right. But I didn't really want to swing, especially because of other people. If other people came in here, I didn't want to swing onto them. And I didn't want to swing over and hit a boulder that I wasn't aware of. So we deployed the stern line again. As you can see, it goes all the way back there. And you see that big rock? I went there, and there's a rock just underwater there. I put the line underwater around that rock, and that held us for most of the night. But then at some point during the night, it popped off of there. We're thinking it's because of the swell or whatever, that it moved until... And I wasn't too concerned about it. The reason why we have the stern anchor there is not so much for security. It's that if there's any swell, because this is open right here, the swell's going to come this way, and if we float over like this, we'll go side to and we'll roll back and forth like this. So by keeping the bow into the swell, you can see the bow is just moving a little bit up and down like this, mostly from the wakes of all the jet skis and everything else that's going by. But so holding the bow into any potential swell or wakes was the idea of why we'd put the stern line out. And I figured if the stern line chafed through or it got dislodged, which it in fact did later on, or early this morning it did, it was no big deal. We didn't go ashore, we just went sideways. And so we did that, and that worked pretty well, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's been interesting it's great having Rune back. Rune is here with Rebecca, and it's great having them on board. They were going to go and spend the night at an Airbnb, and we said, oh, don't be silly. So we opened up the settee, and it's like camping again. But I am absolutely loving this place. We're kind of, right now, it's Saturday. No, yeah, it's Saturday today. So this is about as busy as it gets. Here comes a catamaran coming out of the harbor. Bunch of women over here paddling. And so basically very quiet. And it's nice. Doesn't cost us anything to be here. And then we go into this marina. They had a great big concert over here last night that we thought it was just going to be music, and we're going to go over there. And it's I think it's like a nationally known band. The place was sold out. We couldn't even get in, but on the outside, it was just as well because on the outside there was we were able to see everything, and they played music that it was all in Spanish, but it's what I don't know if it's proper to say it or not, but it kind of seemed like a feel of Spanish classic rock. So kind of how like bands like the Eagles had a little bit of country in there as well, very mellow kind of stuff. That was what the band was playing. So we listened to that on the outside. There are bars on the outside so we could hear and see over the fence and everything. That was kind of fun. But then this marina is amazing, and you see the bow of that expeditionary yacht there. That thing is tricked out. I like that boat. Not a big fan of the big super white yachts, but a big expeditionary yacht like that, oh my God, if I won the lottery, you'd never hear from me again. Anyway, no, the marina's nice, and there's a whole bunch of boats, and then there's a supermarket over here, and in front of the supermarket there's a bulkhead, and they let you tie up while you're going shopping. So you can bring your dinghy and put your dinghy there, and then there's a series of bars and restaurants that go all the way over here, and they too have little places that you can run your dinghy over to, and so that's kind of really cool. So we've just finished up a very late breakfast, and everyone's getting settled in, and I think when it gets really hot today, I've noticed that I've got a whole bunch of little barnacles growing on my beloved copper coat. Maybe my copper coat isn't as great as I thought it was. Or maybe hot water and hot, very salty water produces baby barnacles. I'm not sure. But at any rate, when it gets really hot, anyone that's bored or wants to cool off, go down and start scrubbing the hull with me and Rune. So that's going to be our plan this afternoon. Then I think tonight we'll probably go out, and being our last night. Last night we had bought when we were in Valencia, I took Kristen and Jim to the market, and they have this amazing indoor market. Kind of like Thaniel Square, but is that what it is? Thaniel Square? Anyway, it's a great, huge indoor place with all these different booths, but it's not really touristy. It's people go there to buy stuff. So you go to the butcher that specializes in pork, and you buy pork. You go to the butcher that specializes in poultry, and you buy poultry. And there are all these meat shops. Well, I got a great big, beautiful leg of lamb, and I roasted that thing on the Kamado, and oh my God, it came out phenomenal. I was so proud of myself. But anyway, we are leaving tomorrow, so I'm thinking that this might be a good night for the 6 of us to go out to dinner. So hopefully we'll go to dinner tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon, I think our flight is at 2 o'clock, so probably around 11-ish or so, we'll probably head in, about a half-hour ride to the airport from here, and then hang out at the airport, fly into Madrid, and I'm hoping that once we get to our Airbnb, we'll take Kristen and Jim to Casa Botín early, and then maybe like around 5-ish. Sometimes they're closed from like 4 until 8. So that might not work, but we could still go to the same area. And then Casa Toni is another place that I love in Madrid. And then tomorrow, and then Sunday after. Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning we all fly back. They're flying to. I think they're flying to. I don't know if they're flying to New York or where they're flying, but we're flying to Boston. But anyway, that's all that I got to share with you today. It's been wonderful here. I've been pretty proud of myself, because if we go around the corner to Palma, I've kind of expressed this before, I've been to Palma before, and Palma is beautiful, but it's huge. I mean, there's got to be 2,500, 3,000 boats in the marina, and I mean, it's just a huge, busy place. This is so much more relaxed, so much more intimate, and I'm digging this vibe here so much, and I like where we're anchored. We're secure. We dove on the anchor this morning again to check, make sure everything was all right. And I'm like, this is so great. Why would we leave? And Runa's like, great. So we'll leave Paquita with Rune and Rebecca, and we'll be back to them in a week later. All right. You guys take care, and thank you so much for liking and subscribing, doing all that YouTube shit. Oh, YouTube stuff. If I had usually when somebody says something like that, I usually have a seagull sound I drop in, but I'm not able to do that with this. Hopefully it will sneak by. We were so grateful to those of you that have lifted or bought us around. We bought a few rounds when we were listening to the music last night, and if you'd like to buy us around, we'd love to accept. And you can click that super thanks button, or Legends, join the Patreon crew. I'll put a link in the description, $2 a month. Become a patron, and that's awesome. And the best part about being a patron is you go to bed knowing that you've done the right thing. Okay, so that's it. We're going to end this here so that I don't do this forever. But take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the watch.